Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Brenda's Musings. So I want to talk. I just read this quote just a minute ago, and it said something along the line of, "Another flower doesn't compete with the flower next to it; it just blooms," or something along that line. And and it struck me, one of the reasons people are afraid to be creative is because they're afraid of being judged, and they're afraid of people thinking their work sucks or what they're doing is stupid or they don't do it as well as so and so does, or people, like if you go to a fair of some sort, or where different artisans are creating their works, particularly in things like more like craft fairs and that sort of thing. People go along and they say things like out loud right in front of vendors, like, "Oh, well, I can make that," or "I can make that better than that," or "Oh, that's horrible, look what she did there," or "he did there," or like as if the person wasn't standing right in front of them. And so you have to have a thick skin sometimes, right? And it makes a lot of people not want to put their work out there for fear of being judged. But here's the thing: if you look at all of the art in the world, if you look at just the people who have, in the history of art, who have created art and been recognized for it, there is every possible, you go from like super, super realistic to super, super primitive and everything in between. So it's not about this. Okay, there's some skill level, yes, but it's something that can be learned. The elements and principles of art, how to do things like proportion or movement or balance, harmony, that kind of stuff in your work of art. But all of that can be taught. But what the real reason that art survives, the real reason that art connects with other people, is because of what the artist brings to it. And here's the thing, is that nobody but you can bring what you see in this world and what you feel in this world to life. You're the only one who can do it, because it's a personal experience. And in some way, shape, or form, you will connect with somebody else. I have done some works of art that at the end of them, I've just hated. I've done it with jewelry making. I've done it with, like, you name it, I've done it. I've either overworked it, or I thought I'd challenge myself and I'd use materials that I wasn't really comfortable using, or I'd use them in a way that I had never used them before. And at the end of it, I didn't like the work. It didn't really speak to me. I played with things, I put emotion into it, I like all that sort of thing, but it just wasn't something I would call my best work. And yet, what I've learned is not to destroy those works of art, is not to cover them over, because they resonate with some people. Now, I'm not saying put trash out there, but what I'm saying is put a piece of yourself into something, and then just leave it. If everybody felt or thought the same way that I did, there would be 3 types of art out there or something. That's the joy, right? Is that people bring their own experiences, their own thoughts or whatever, and they, they put themselves into the art, or they take the art and apply it to themselves. And that's how they connect. So my job as an artist is to infuse my art with me, with my thoughts, my feelings, my technique, all that kind of stuff. And then the last part of my job is just to let it go. Once I put it out into the world, it's no longer mine. It belongs to everybody. So yeah, just bloom, just blossom, just, you do you, boo, right? Anyway, that's my music for the day. Have a great one, everyone.